How are you students? I think all of you are safe and sound. Dear students, today's class has been arranged for the students of class 9 and 10. The topic is changing degree. Dear students, can you remember what we studied in the previous class? Yes, we discussed in the previous class how to turn into positive degree from superlative and comparative degree. Yes, students, I would like to discuss how to turn into superlative and comparative degree from positive degree. Dear students, let's start. Number 1, no other student is as bright as Rana. Dear learners, can you tell me anyone what kind of sentence it is? Yes, it's a negative sentence. No other, very few. Dear students, these words no other and very few denote negative sense. So dear students, when you make positive degree from superlative or comparative degree, you also make negative sentence. So dear students, as we are going to make superlative and comparative today, we have to make the assertive sentence or affirmative sentence. Can you tell me anyone what the structure of affirmative sentence is? Yes, subject plus verb plus extension. Dear students, since we are going to turn into superlative degree at first, let's know the structure of superlative degree. What's the structure of superlative degree? The structure of superlative degree is subject plus verb plus superlative form plus extension. Dear students, you know that the is used always before the superlative degree. So you have to use the before the superlative degree. Dear students, let's rearrange the sentence to make superlative degree. Dear students, what's the subject of the sentence? Yes, Rana is the subject of this positive degree, but we should take the subject of the superlative degree at the beginning of the sentence. So we have to write Rana first, then the verb. What's the verb of the sentence? Yes, is. Then the superlative form of the positive form. The superlative of bright is brightest. Brightest. Dear students, you know the is always used before the superlative degree. So you have to use the here. Rana is the brightest. Then you should write extension. Where is the extension? Extension must be settled after no other or very few. The word or words after no other will be extension. So student here extension. So the total answer will be Rana is the brightest student. Dear students, notice the question number 2. Very few students are as bright as Rana. Dear students, the sentence starts with very few. If the positive degree starts with very few, you have to follow this structure to make it superlative degree. The structure is subject plus verb plus one of the plus superlative form plus extension. Dear students, if the sentence starts with very few, you have to follow this structure to make it positive. to make it superlative degree. Let's rearrange the sentence to make superlative degree. At first you should write subject. Rana is the subject of the sentence. Rana, then verb. Dear students, it's a very noticeable fact here that the subject of this positive degree is plural. So the verb has been plural. But in this sentence, the subject Rana is third person singular. So you should use the singular verb. So the singular verb is. Then you should write one of the. One of the. After then, you have to make the superlative degree of the positive degree. The superlative of bright is brightest. Brightest. And at last you should write the extension of this sentence. Extension is students. Extension is students. The total answer is Rana is one of the brightest students. Dear students, I think I have been able to make you understand this sentence. Number 3. Dear students, no other player is as clever as Kamal. You have to make it comparative degree. So dear students, you should at first know the structure of comparative degree. Let me write the structure of comparative degree. At first you should write the subject plus verb plus comparative degree plus then any other or then most other or only then. Dear students, there are 3 rules to make comparative degree from positive degree. However, let's see the example. If the sentence starts with no other, you should write after the comparative form then any other. And if the sentence starts with very few, you have to write after the comparative form then most other. And dear students, if there is no other or very few, you will use just then after the comparative form. Let's see the example. No other player is as clever as Kamal. Dear students, at first you should write the subject of the sentence. So subject is Kamal. Kamal. Then you have to use verb. Verb is. Then you should write the comparative form of the positive form. Cleverer. The comparative form of clever is cleverer. Cleverer. Then you have to write then any other. Then any other. And dear students, at last you should write the extension of the sentence. The extension of the sentence is player. Player. This is the answer of this sentence. Dear students, notice the question number 4. Very few players are as clever as Kamal. Dear students, the structure will be subject plus verb plus comparative plus then most other, because the sentence starts with very few. If the sentence starts with very few, you have to follow this structure. Let's rearrange it. Kamal is the subject. Kamal. Dear students, you should remember that always the verb will set according to the subject, person and number. So in this sentence the subject was plural, subject is plural, so verb has been plural. But in this sentence Kamal is singular. So verb must be singular. So we have to use singular verb is. Kamal is. Then you should write the comparative form. Comparative form of clever is cleverer. Cleverer. Then as the sentence starts with very few, you have to use then most other after the comparative form. Then most other. Then you will write just the extension. Then most other players. Dear students, I think you have understood. Notice question number 5. Karim is not as tall as Rahim. Dear students, this is also a positive degree, but there is no other, there is no very few in this sentence. This is difference from the other sentences here. Dear students, so you should use just then after the comparative form of this sentence. Let's see the answer. The Rahim is the subject of this sentence. Rahim, then verb must be settled. Rahim is. Then you should write the comparative form of the positive form. The comparative form of tall is taller. Then you should use only then. Then after then you should use just the extension. Karim. Dear students, I think you have understood all the explanations and examples. If you miss any part of this topic, you have a chance to write comment in my comments box. Dear students, I am always with you and I will try to reply your questions. Dear students, that's all for today. Thank you. Be safe. Bye.